Welcome to the balcony farm. It's July 2025. We've had a bit of a heat wave, but things are cooling down now. I'm in London, UK, and I usually talk about balcony gardening, balcony farming, and a few other things here and there in between. And today, I'm going to talk about the illusion of choice. Not in the context of gardening, but it's just something I want to address. So, I'm currently looking for a fridge freezer to replace one that I've had for about 20 years. It's a Bosch fridge freezer, and it's starting to collect water, and I think it's got a blocked drain somewhere, so I can probably try and fix it for the short term, but it's due. I'm due a new fridge. I think 20 years is a reasonable time for a fridge to last, a fridge freezer, and when I was doing my research, it was saying 15 to 19, 20 years is the standard for a fridge. So I'm very happy with that it's lasted this long, and hopefully I can find another one that will last that long. But the problem I have is that I cannot find the dimensions that I'm looking for. My kitchen is small. I'm living in London like most people. I live in a small flat, and the kitchen is very small. And I have a very compact space to work with, so I can't just buy a big fridge or compromise by getting a much smaller fridge. That also won't work because I cook most of my meals most days. Breakfast, lunch, dinner is at home, which I don't want to change. So I do need a fridge of a certain size. And the dimensions I'm looking for, I don't think they're that unusual. I think they're fairly standard. So the height is about 170 centimeters or about 70 inches. And the width is about 59, 60 centimeters or about 23 inches. And the depth is about 61 centimeters or 24 inches. So you would think that would be fairly standard, but it's not, it seems. I've looked everywhere online, called a few places locally to actually speak to people because I wanted to get it from local suppliers if I could. Trying to do my bit to support small businesses. I've just spoken to 2 people just today. And for some reason, that size, those dimensions are very difficult to find. A lot of the fridge freezers are very tall, above 180 centimeters. Or if I do find the right height, they tend to be quite narrow, like between 50 and 55 centimeters, or the depth would be out. And because the fridge is close to my door, the depth is quite important. But anyway, that's just an example. Recently, I was looking for glasses. Again, I come across a similar problem. I try to replace frames that I've had since 2009 because I generally don't like to buy new stuff unless I have to. Try to be responsible and use things for as long as I can. And again, trying to find something that I'm used to has been almost impossible to find because everything is these big glasses everywhere. I don't know, that seems to be the trend. The ones I had were wide and narrow, rectangular shaped. I had a similar problem when I was trying to find a cooker hood. Again, trying to replace something I've had for 20 years. Very difficult to find. those particular dimensions. And it just seems like, despite living in these times where we have so much what seems like endless choice, there's something about modern life that also seems like those choices are more of an illusion rather than real choice. A lot of things look different but are the same. And maybe, I'm trying to look at it from the perspective of manufacturers and producers. I'm sure it's very difficult to make things these days and to produce things, and everything has to be standardized. But at the same time, it does seem like we have a lot of choice, but not quite. I hope somebody out there understands this. Anyway, so that's a bit of a rant because it's just something I'm coming across. Again, I had a similar issue when I was looking for gym clothes, where I was looking for a tank top for obviously a woman with built-in bras. And I don't know if you remember, if anybody remembers this, but years ago, it used to be very easy to find those tank tops or vest tops with built-in bras. Now, almost impossible to find because you have to buy the sport bra separately, which costs a lot, anywhere from 20 something to 40 something pounds, and that's the mid price range. You have to buy them separately. I was looking for swimming costumes that offer some kind of modesty. Again, very difficult. You have to look online. Everything is just skimpy and showing everything, which I don't want. I do not want that. I want a swimming costume that offers some modesty, some coverage. Anyway, I know there are bigger problems out there. These are very much first world problems. But still, I just wanted to talk about this illusion of choice that we seem to have. This dilemma where we are surrounded by stuff and things everywhere, but we are not able to find what we really need anywhere. Especially if we're replacing stuff that we've had for a long time, things that were made well. Anyway, do I have any solutions? No, I don't. I'm just offering a perspective. And I don't want it to be misconstrued. I know we have a lot of choice. But is it really? Or do we really have a choice? Or is it an illusion of choice? But a lot of things are actually very similar or the same or don't quite fit what we need. What is it about modern life that makes us feel like we have a lot of choice but we don't at the same time? Or maybe we're just spoiled. Maybe it's the cult of convenience. Maybe we're expecting too much. Maybe I'm expecting too much. I don't know. What I know is I cannot find a fridge that fits in my space. And I live in a small flat in London. You would think it would be very easy. A lot of people live in small flats in London. So why is it difficult? Anyway, just some food for thought. Thank you for listening to this rant. At least I hope you enjoyed the view of this balcony garden. That's what I normally talk about. Thank you for watching and listening. And wish me luck with finding this fridge. I deserve a new fridge after 20 years, I think. Bye.